Hey everyone, Murray Gusseck here, and I'm excited to share a couple of exercises with you, 3 to be specific, as part of the Zildjian Workout that is currently running. So I'm happy to be a contributor in some small way, and I'll share some exercises that I use actually still to this day to kind of work out some things, and I hope you can find them useful. As far as level goes, I'm going to call these open class, right in the middle between A and world. And that's simply because on paper they don't look like much, but in practice and depending on the tempo, they can be either quite beginner level or quite advanced. And I think you'll see what I mean as we go here. So without further preamble, the first one I'm going to do is I call it the left hand tongue twister. And the reason I call it that is because it is going back and forth between these two patterns that is quite confusing for the left hand, and I found it to be, I sort of just discovered it by accident one day and messing around, doing some practicing, and it drove me crazy that I couldn't do it. So it's stuck in my craw, as they say, and now it's going to get stuck in yours. So you're welcome. So anyways, I'm going to start at 100 beats a minute, and I'll just click that on so we can get going here. And I'll play the first part first, which is 4 counts of each pattern that you can see in your music there. The first pattern is 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4. The second pattern is 1E, a 2E, a 3E, a 4E. And so what you're doing is going back and forth between those two patterns. To start off with 1 bar of each, like so. 1, 2, ready, go. 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1E, a 2E, a 3E, a 4E, a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1E, a 2E, a 3E, a 4E, a 1. Okay, not too bad, right? The second part pairs down into 2 counts only of each of those rhythms. So that sounds like this: 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and a 2 and a 3E, a 4E, a 1 and a 2 and a 3E, a 4E, okay? And then lastly, we're going to go down to 1 count of each of those patterns. 2, 3, 4. 1 and a 2E, a 3 and a 4E, a 1 and a 2E, a 3 and a 4E, a 1. And the sticking basically makes this sort of an independence exercise. If you notice, the right hand is always doing quarter notes and the left hand is doing all the intricacies of the syncopations. So I will now play that whole thing as it is on the page to this metronome, which is at 100 beats a minute. Okay, so 1, 2, ready, go. 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1E, a 2E, a 3E, a 4E, a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1E, a 2E, a 4E, a 1 and a 2 and a 3E, a 4E, a 1 and a 2 and a 3E, a 4E, a 1 and a 2E, a 3 and a 4E, a 1 and a 2E, a 3 and a 4E, a 1. Okay? I'll do that without counting just so you can hear just the rhythms. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and there you have it. Not too hard, right? Well, as long as you have complete comfort with that, then you're going to start speeding up the tempo. And I would normally not speed up by this much, but because we're on a clock here, we're gonna sort of be a little bit more extreme with our tempo changes. I'm going to jump from 100 to 145 beats a minute. So we have that. Okay, and I'll play it again. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Play one more time, and this time I'm actually going to separate my left hand onto the black surface here. It's a more articulate surface, and it'll give you some sense of the difference in sounds, and this will also add a little layer of confusion to your eardrum. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Okay, so at that tempo, you get a little bit more of a sense of the timing of it and the challenges there, and also your left hand has to make some sharp corners, right, from the doubles to the offbeat eighth notes on the E's and U's. Da-da-da. It's got to do that. And that's the struggle. That's the tough part of this. And so I find this to be a good way to challenge your fulcrum, the smaller muscles of the hands, to make those sharp corners. And you want to do it with as much accuracy, like as much metronomic accuracy as you can. This is not the time to work on your Cuban phrasing. This is the time to put on, you know, something super 16th notey, if I can use that phrase. And really hone in on those 16ths and try to get it exact, because it's a real challenge to do that. Okay, so lastly, I'm going to crank this up all the way to 190, which is up to ludicrous speed, as Rick Moranis would say in Spaceballs. And that tempo is right there. And I'll play it first on the normal pad surface, the gum rubber surface here, and then I'll split the hands. Wish me luck. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. One, two again, and one more time, just because I like punishing myself. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so not bad. I was kind of chowing this as I was warming up to make this video, so I'm happy that I got warmed up, and it is a pretty effective warm-up, if I do say so. Again, because your left hand is really, you know, and it's dependent on your ability to really hone in on those 16ths and be very specific with, you know, your syncopations and making sure they're right on the money and they're very accurate to 16th notes, because that's really where the challenge is. So, anywho, yeah, hope you enjoy that one, and hope it doesn't make you too angry. I would definitely recommend taking it much more slowly as you progress to faster tempos, and make sure you really have those patterns good in your hands before getting faster, and then, you know, reverse the sticking for the obvious reasons that it's good to do that, and give your right hand the same amount of challenge. Okay, so there's one exercise. Second exercise is one that I call triplet stick control. Stick control was, you know, obviously the famous book by George Lawrence Stone. It was the name of an exercise that we played a bunch in the Santa Clara Vanguard when I was involved with that organization. It was originally, excuse me, it was originally written by Glenn Crosby, who many of you will know, and it just kind of kept going through the years, and we just would add on different things. And the idea of stick control was you have a check pattern of 16ths, and then you play some sticking pattern. In our case, it was 3 rights and 1 left, and then 1 right and 3 lefts, and then all 4s, and then all 2s. Well, I took that and just created a kind of one just for myself to work on finger control, and I call it triplet stick control, and it's the same basic premise. But it's a little bit trickier, and it's definitely one that will challenge your finger strokes. So we're going to take it slow initially. That's 108. Let's start there. And it's really, yeah, it's triplets, and basically at this tempo you're going to start with 3 strokes on a hand, and you're going to do 2 measures of that. So triple it, 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 triple it is the start of the exercise, and that is the check pattern that happens in between all of the sticking variations that I'll throw at you. So, and every every pattern is 2 bars long at this tempo. You can also do it as 6 tuplets, which would make it 1 bar each, but I don't want to confuse things. So triplets, and after 2 bars of that, you're going to do the pattern of 4 on the right hand and 2 on the left hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Triplet, triplet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Right, 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 left, left. So after the first part of the exercise as just threes, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Okay? And then you go back to the threes. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, triplet, triplet, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet. Again, 2 bars. And then you do the opposite of the previous variation. Instead of 4 and 2, you're going to do 2 on the right, 4 on the left. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, triplet, 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 triplet. 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet. And then back to the threes. 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet. Here you're going to do all fours. 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet. Or 1, let me try that again with the counting. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Or if I just count the hand-to-hand strokes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 total. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. It all has to work to the dotted quarter pulse that you'll hear from the metronome in a second. Then you back to the threes. Okay, there's 4 variations, so there's 4 check patterns of threes. So triplet, 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 and then it's all 2s, the easiest of the patterns. But actually, in context with the other patterns, and especially at faster tempos, this one is deceptively difficult to pull off with a good sound. And that's just doubles in 12/8. 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet. Okay? So, I'll turn on the Met. I'm going to go through all of them. 1, 2, it's a little quicker. 1, 2, triplet, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 4 and 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oops, I messed that up. Let me start again. 1, 2 from the top. And 4 and 2. 3. 2 and 4. 3s. All 4s. Back to 3s. This is the last one. This is all doubles. Double, 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 double. We'll do that one more time. And 1, 2, okay, so at that tempo, not particularly impressive from a speed standpoint, and you know, it's not necessarily the point to be impressive. It's a good warm up at that tempo, and even slower. It's just a good bunch of legato strokes to do, and you know, 3s, 2s, and 4s, and all of that. Those are great combinations to have just locked into your hands, because they're so useful in, you know, any meter. And as percussionists, you know, we're playing those combinations all the time. And I find it interesting and challenging to do the 4s and the 2s in a triplet meter because of the polyrhythmic nature of it. And so it adds a little bit of challenge on that. And it's also kind of interesting and musical in a way, if I can go that far. Anyways, let's keep going here. That was 108. Let's see what 132 sounds like. So here we go. 1, 2, and 1, 2, 3, 4. And at least at that tempo for me, I'm still mainly using wrist for those strokes. You know, you probably notice I'm using a little bit more of a French grip approach. I've been working on French grip more lately because I just am very interested in it. But at the faster tempos, that's going to be an advantage because it's going to go into the fingers. So let's try to get it there. Let's go up to 60 beats, or 160, excuse me. And 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and it becomes more of a challenge to keep those notes connected, and I heard a couple of disconnections in my own sound that I'd like to take another crack at. Let's try it. 1, 2, ready, go. Yeah, so not perfect, but that's okay. It's a process, and yeah, that's the beauty of things like that. The closer you get to something, the more complexity gets revealed, and it's fun to go after that with increasing intensity and focus. Let's speed it up. Why not? This is 180, and I have no idea how this is going to go. Let's try it. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. And again, I do find it particularly challenging to go from the first 3/4 of the exercise to those doubles at the end, which are physically easier on one level, but they're kind of hard to get the good sound to match everything that you're doing. I also find that, you know, and again, speaking of fingers, there's definitely a lot of that going on, because why not? I mean, you've got fingers, they do stuff, they make the stick bounce, and it's a lot easier than trying to muscle that out. So the way to get there, if you're really interested in pursuing this and finger technique, to me, what's really helped me is very slow tempos, you know, where you're just practicing the basic strokes of this with a French grip, and really just making your fingers open and close to make the stick propel along. And do it at a tempo that's so slow that your fingers do not have to work at all. It's just butter. It's very easy, and just find the right balance point of the stick. Which, incidentally, I should do a little plug for these Vic Firth Freestyle 55A drumsticks, which is my favorite stick. This whole series of the freestyle stick is just amazing to me. The way it feels, they're long. I like that because I'm lazy. I'm a drum set player, and you know, you don't have to reach as far with a longer drumstick. And somehow they've managed to magically make the balance point quite wide on the stick, so you really get a good feel and response from different areas. And it's these sticks are just great for pad, and they're great for the kit, and just lots of different uses. So if you haven't checked out the freestyle versions of some of the classic Vic Firth models, you definitely owe it to yourself to do that. They're great. and there's a bunch of different ones and different weights. Okay, I'm going to go even faster with this because I'm a glutton for punishment. Okay, this is 204. Just kind of pull it out of the hat here. Let's see what happens. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Two, one more crack. It's tough, but it's fun. So I hope you like that, and I hope you can. It's easy to remember also, and it's a good like pre-gig warm-up just to get the fingers moving and stuff. So check it out. All right. Last but not least, this one will take the longest to explain, but it's I saved the best for last for sure. I call this the Syncopated Pattern Crusher. Pattern Crusher. It's basically. What it is a template for working various patterns that all can be played within one quarter note and smashing them down into a smaller, about a 75% faster rate, and that would be dotted eighths. So on your music, you can see that there is a basic skeleton sitting there, and to explain the skeleton, you have 4 quarter notes and 5 dotted eighths. That's the basic alternating note duration template for this thing. 4 quarter notes, 5 dotted eighths. That happens 4 times, with one exception, and that is on the last group of quarter notes, you actually play 5 quarter notes. And the reason for that is because that allows you to stay in 4/4 time. And we want to stay in 4/4 time. And I am going to quickly change this metronome so that I get a 4/4 click. Okay, there's our 4/4 click. You can clearly hear the higher pitch beep on the 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. What I'm going to do is just mark the template of the exercise for you. And the big thing here is to count it, because this is going to be crucial to apply the exercise to stuff that's actually pretty fun. So I'm going to count it in 16th notes. We're going to stick with a 16th note subdivision. And here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1. Okay, I've just completed one cycle through it, and I ended up on my left hand, which is a feature, not a bug, because then I can repeat it off the left hand. So let me do that, just to give you another pass at it, starting from the left. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E, a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1. All right, I'm going to do it one more time. This time I'll add just something to it. I'll just play flams, but still just the single hits. And I'll go twice through, so you'll see it go from the right side and then repeat without stopping, starting off the left. So here we go. 1, 2E and a 3 and a 4. 1E and a 2E and a 3 and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E. A 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a repeat and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1. a 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1. All right. So where from there and why? Okay. So that's just a skeleton, that's a template, and now what we're going to do is have a little bit of fun with that. And in order to safely do this, you really have to be really good at the counting. So we're going to do a little baby step, and the first variation that you've got there on your page is just some flam paradiddles on the quarter notes. Okay, just simple flam paradiddles, and then hand-to-hand flam accents for the dotted eights. And that keeps it fairly accessible and doable, and it'll get crazy from there, but let me just run that version down for you. 2, 3, 4. 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a. Okay, not too bad. Now, from here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to play it with just straight paradiddles, 2 height, hand-to-hand paradiddles, but instead of maintaining 16th notes in the dotted eighth part, I'm going to maintain paradiddles, and I'm going to smash them down into a dotted eighth space. So rather than 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a, it's going to be 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. You get that? So counting and playing dotted eighth smashed in paradiddles. Let's have some more of that. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E. Really relying on my counting. And a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 and a 4 E and a 1. Okay? Pretty odd, but it's doable, and it's surprisingly easy to count as long as you are really comfortable with your counting and you're very good at knowing what the template is, and you have that ingrained, that syncopation of where all those hits comes, so it's really important to just mark it out with the just the single notes and just counting and just really making sure that that's solid. Okay, so I'm going to play that type of that approach through the whole thing twice through to get the second repeat on the left side. So 1, 2, 3 and a 4, 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 1 E and a 2 E. I'll take away the counting. All right. If you're totally lost, you're like, what is going on? I did write this out for you with the over-the-bar rhythms. It's much harder to deal with visually in a notation setting than it is to just feel it and understand where the accents are. So again, I'm encouraging anybody who's interested to really learn the template, learn the skeleton and where those accents are, learn to count, and then rely on your counting to understand where those accents are. And when you're doing the dotted eighth patterns, you do have moments at different points for each part of the exercise where they do line up on a beat of the metronome, and you'll kind of understand where those are after a little bit of practice. Okay, let's do the same thing, but instead of paradiddles, let's do tap fives. And let's actually do smooth tap fives to add a layer of challenge. So instead of da digga digga da digga digga da digga digga da digga digga, it will be, and then I'll smash that down into the same space of the dotted eighth. Let's see what that sounds like. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2 E and a 3 and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 3 and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 and a 4 E and a second time. Okay, you can go the other way, and you can take notes away, and this gets really pretty darn tricky. So I'm going to pick a pattern such as eighth note inverted flam taps. Okay, so that's right, left, left, right, left, right, and I'm going to, this is tough, and so I'm gonna keep that counting going and see if I can keep myself on track. And I think you'll hear why it gets tricky. 1, 2, 3 E and a 4, 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. How about flam accents, triplets in the quarter note become straight ahead 16ths. So in this case, the quarter note is the tough version, and the dotted eighths turn into 16th notes, and it becomes friendly again. And so when you get onto some of the syncopations where you're doing just E's and just ands and just uhs, it becomes pretty challenging. So 1, 2, this is triplets. 1, 2, 3 and a 4, 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 3 and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 and a 4 E and a 1. And those of you that are quite rhythmically adept and were listening and said, "Hey, weren't you just playing offbeat triplets instead of true offbeat 16ths on the E's and the uhs in certain spots?" And yes, actually I was, because close enough. I mean, it's hard enough, and the idea here is to stretch your brain, stretch your ears, challenge yourself, give you're keeping a ostinato with your voice, with the counting, and really playing against that in a way that's really interesting, because you have to stick with patterns that you really know and understand and don't have to think about. If you have to think about the pattern, don't do this. Don't stick it in this exercise. Only play with patterns that are really in your hands, and then challenge yourself to concentrate on your counting and slamming into those accents vocally. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and just let the pattern come out, you know, and it's pretty interesting that it can actually even be possible. All right, last one I'll do just for fun. It's not a very hard one compared to some of them, but paradiddle diddles, 6-tuplet paradiddle diddles. A 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E, a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1. Okay. I was going to demonstrate a couple of paradiddle diddles and then play the exercise, but I just ended up playing the whole thing. But you get the idea. A pattern that does not switch hands, go from right to left, you know, it doesn't naturally wind you up on the left side, so that's why I only did half of it that time. But you can do it with 7-stroke rolls. And pretty much anything you can think of that'll fit into a quarter note. So anyways, I hope that these exercises have been interesting and can be useful to at least some of you. Stay safe and healthy out there, everybody, and we'll see you when we see you.